everyone, welcome to Leading with Glory. My name is Glory Divine Yugantahong, and it is my pleasure to have you here today. I take it that if you're here, it's because you want to become a better leader, one that God can trust and that men will want to follow. My commitment to you is that you will leave this place with at least one tip that will better yourself and your leadership. Let's dive right in. Welcome back to Leading with Glory, and today we'll be talking about discipline and self-leadership. You see this self-leadership thing, the circle it very well. Let me be honest with you. If you cannot control yourself, if you cannot lead yourself, you have no business leading anybody else. Let me say that again. If you cannot control yourself, if you cannot lead yourself, then you have no business, absolutely no business leading anybody else. And before you talk and try to justify, let me first of all finish, because I've talked to a lot of young people and I see this as a common pattern among a lot of other people. If you cannot distinguish your left from your right, you have no business leading anybody. They talk, they say, I am a leader, but you should ask yourself the question, leader to where? Leader into confusion? Into the bush? No. It cannot happen. And don't get me wrong, I really love young leaders and I really appreciate and value their fierceness when I see a very good one. But the truth is that it has become something so trendy, the title, that a lot of young people just want to bear the title. They just want to call themselves young leader without paying the price of growth. Really? You cannot do that. You can't. A lot of young people that are calling themselves young leader are actually like apprentices. They've never driven before. They have never been in a car before. They don't even have a direction to where they are going, but they want to carry car and they drive. And the worst of it all, that they really pain me, is that they want to carry people's children and put in the car. To where? Is this not wickedness? Let me even look at you very well. Is this not wickedness? I love young leaders, don't get me wrong, and I really value and appreciate it when I see young people that are leaders. I love their fierceness, I love their boldness, I love their courage. But the problem is that being a young leader has become such a trendy thing that a lot of young people now just want the title without ever wanting to pay the price for growth. Don't do that. That is why a lot of older people are not taking us seriously. They are not, because we are like jokers, because to them we are like apprentices. A lot of young people that call themselves leaders nowadays are really like apprentices. They have never been into a car before. They don't know how to drive. They don't even have a direction to where am I driving to, but they want a car and they want to be able to drive. And the worst of it, or the thing that they pain me, is that they want to carry other people and put in their car. To where? Is this not wickedness? Is this not wickedness? As I'm even talking, let me put on glasses so that I can see you very well. Is this not wickedness? Why do you want to lead people? Why do you want other young people to entrust you with their destinies, to entrust you with their lives, to entrust you with their careers? Because that is what young leaders are meant to be. They are meant to offer mentorship. They are meant to offer guidance. They are meant to lead a people into a promised land and into a promised goal. But if you cannot even do that with yourself, then why do you want to sabotage the destiny of so many people just because you want to carry a title? Oga, if you did not know that not being able to lead yourself and control yourself and still want to lead others is a problem, now I am telling you, it is a problem. It is a real problem. And don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Jesus. I'm a really quiet person. No? I'm a really reserved person. But I just needed to say it. Don't do that. But let me just calm down and believe that if you are still here, it's because you want to become a better leader. So I will help you. I'll give you advice that can help your life. Hey. So let me start. Why self-leadership is important and what is self-leadership? Self-leadership, let me define it plain. Self-leadership is your ability to tame your desires, to control yourself, to control your excesses, and lead yourself with vision towards a promised land or a particular goal. Let me say it again. Self-leadership is about you, not about people. Forget about people first. The first thing a leader should think about is me as the person, as the carrier of the vision, me. So self-leadership is your ability to be able to control your excesses, to be able to manage your weaknesses, to be able to tame your desires and lead yourself with vision into a promised land or a particular goal. In other terms, you can just say it is the influence, the good influence that you have on yourself. We have influencers everywhere, but it is first your influence to influence yourself in a good way. So I'm going to talk about 5 different things for this particular session, because as we keep growing, we'll learn about different things that goes into self-leadership and leadership as a whole. But there are 5 main things that I want us to talk about today. The first thing is vision. Write it down. And I'm serious when I say write it down. It's vision. Why are you a leader and you don't have a vision for yourself? Even if you are not a leader, or you feel like you are not called into leadership, or whatever you say, why are you a leader and you don't have a vision? When you don't have a vision, you'll never know when you arrive there. When you don't have a vision, there is no way to get motivation. When you don't have a vision, you literally cannot do anything. The first thing that you should think about right now as a leader is not opening a company, is not opening an organization, is not thinking about the number of followers you get, is not seeking the recognition. The first thing you should try to have plain, clear, simple, visible, and known is your vision. Your vision statement. I remember some few years ago, I was in college. I mean, I'm still in college, but it was my first year. And I met one of my mentors. And as we were talking, and I was talking about my idea for a non-for-profit, my passion for education and leader and all of that, she told me, draw a vision board. I was like, I don't know how to draw. She was like, you don't need to know how to draw. I want you to take a paper, write down what is your vision statement. What do you want to see in 5 years' time? And I was like, bro, I'm still in my first year of university. Why should I be thinking about when I graduate? Bro, it's 5 years from now. Bro, why should I be thinking 10 years from now when now, the problems that I'm facing now, I cannot even solve them? Why should I be thinking 5 years ahead? But guess what? I wrote down a vision board. And I totally forgot about it. And each time she would call me, Glory, come and pick your vision board in my office. And I'll be like, I'll pass tomorrow. I'll come next month. And then I left the vision board with her for like 2 years. And then recently I went for a meeting with her, and we were just discussing about progress in my life, what I've been doing, how my non-for-profit is going, and all of those things. And as I was listing the achievements and the thing that we're able to do, guess what? She takes out my vision board from under her desk, and she's like, Glory, look, you did everything you had on your vision board. And I was like, damn, if I knew, I would have added more things. I didn't take the vision board with me. I hope I had, because at least it would have been a motivation for me. And I'll talk about celebrating successes later. But I really didn't know that just making sure you write your vision will be such a game changer. I'm not talking about idolizing the vision. I'm not talking about staring at it every morning. What I'm saying is, make sure you have a vision for your life. Make sure you have a path. Make sure you know where you are going. And a vision does not have to be a vision for 10 years. It doesn't have to be a vision for 5 years. What about the vision for this year? What about the vision for next year? What about the vision for this month? for this week? What is your goal for this week? What is your goal for this month? We usually like to think about vision as a 20-year plan. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Yes, you should have an idea of what you want to become, knowing that plans change. You should have a vision of, oh, this is how I see myself. This is my dream. It's a very good thing to have. But you also need to have smaller visions, a vision for a month, a vision for a year, that you can break into actual goals, and the goals can be broken into actual steps, things that you can do day to day to better your life. So that's the number one thing I wanted to talk about. Remember, I said vision. Number two, self-discipline. I don't know how I'll press this enough. It's one of the hardest things to do, but one of the most important things you must learn to do. How to say no to yourself. How to say no. It may seem easy as I'm talking about, but if you are someone that has tried to be disciplined before, if you are someone that have tried self-discipline, you know that saying no to yourself is not always as easy as it sounds. But it's something you must be able to. If you have decided that I'll be praying 1 hour every day, do that. That is self-leadership. When you feel like, oh, I want to sleep, and you remember that, oh, bro, it's my time to pray. Saying no to the feeling of sleep is self-discipline. When you have decided that, oh, I'm going to read this number of pages per day, and one day you wake up out of the blue, because motivation, you don't have the same motivation every day. What makes big people big is not the motivation, it's not their emotions, it's not the feeling, it's the discipline. The discipline to be consistent, the discipline to do the small things every day, little by little. The discipline you put in, the effort you put in every day consistently, they end up piling, they end up compounding, and that's what brings big results. And if we say that at Leading with Glory we are a community of doers and not talkers, it means that you must be able to do things every single day. That is self-leadership. If you've decided that I'm trying to better my leadership skill, I'll read one leadership book every month or every 2 months, and you've decided that to achieve that, I have decided to read 2 chapters a day, then being able to say no to yourself when you feel like eating or like or like watching movie rather than reading that book is what is discipline. So please never neglect self-discipline. Never neglect self-discipline. Discipline in the small things. It doesn't have, a lot of people think that it's discipline in the big things, but I've learned that it's actually discipline in the small things. When you really want to eat that food that you know you should not eat, and you decide that no, I'm not eating, I'm standing my grounds. That's self-discipline. When you go for that run, that you know that you should be running and exercising and you haven't been, and you decide to do it every single day, even the day you are tired, that's self-discipline. Or when you know that I should stop on social, I should go low profile on social media because I've been there binge watching every day. You know that I should stop. When you actually take the step and stand your ground against yourself, a lot of people think you just have to stand your grounds against a lot of people. The truth is that a lot of time our first enemy is ourselves, bro. I've learned that it's hard to understand, but the truth is that a lot of times there are a lot of things that we can avoid if only we were practicing consistency and we were disciplined enough to say no to ourselves. No, even to the good things that are good but that are bad for us. Who is an alcoholic? An alcoholic is someone that has been drinking again and again to the point that he cannot even stop himself from drinking. That's how addiction is. Because you want to, but you cannot. And a lot of us think that we have the power to stop some of the addictions that are going on in our lives. But the truth is that we no longer have that power because we are addicted. Why? Self-leadership. We were not disciplined enough to say no to ourselves. Please, this week, choose one thing that you know you should be disciplined about and practice it. Say no to yourself. No. It's important. Okay, let's move on. The third thing to take into consideration now is emotional control. Hey, emotional damage. Emotional control is such an important thing, because if you cannot control your emotions, then you are not the boss, you are the puppet, and a very ugly one at that. Maybe you are even Chucky or Annabelle. Which one? I think Chucky was more ugly than Annabelle. But you choose. But if you cannot control your emotions, you are very ugly. You are a puppet. You are a puppet. You are not the boss. And I cannot imagine a life where you are the puppet. Like some of you, your mood swings has more color than a chameleon. It's too bad. We meet you now, you are happy. 20 minutes later, you are sad. We come an hour later, you are very angry. We come like 2 hours later, you don't want to talk to anybody. I beg, who are you going to lead like that? I know that sometimes we say emotional, whatever, is hormonal, is whatever, but at some point, it becomes too much. You need to be able to tame that. You need to be able to, in quote, tame your hormones, especially when it comes to emotions. So something happened this past summer, this past holidays. I was working on the non-for-profit and I had recruited interns. So there were 6 of them. At the right beginning, I suffered a lot because I thought that they would be like me, that I'm very factual, number one. Number two, if I say I'm doing something, I'm doing it. If I say I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. That kind of thing. So straightforward, straight to the point, deliver things on time, meeting deadlines. So I thought that everyone is coming in with that type of time management. Let's respect each other, And not everyone was quite as I thought, because when you are working with 6 different people, 6 different interns, they have 6 different personalities, 6 different backgrounds, 6 different ways of doing things, 6 different ways of communicating. Jesus. But what did I realize is that at first, I'll let them or their action switch my mood. So it's like, I gave you a project, you did not deliver on time, or you took 2 hours more, and out of the sudden, I'm just upset. That happened for the first week. It happened for the second week, where I would just think about, I have this meeting again with this intern, and I would just frown my face. At some point, I was like, how come what happens with these interns? How come the projects we are working on are now controlling me? For where? Am I the boss or am I not the boss? So I decided to tame that. I decided to control that. Now, when I arrive in the meeting, what you've done, you've done. If I have to give you feedback, I give you feedback. If I have to correct you, I correct you. If I have to rebuke you, I rebuke you. Yes, we do it in love and we do it with professionalism and all of that. But it is when I change my mindset to actually understanding that I can control my emotions. It's not because the meeting that I had with them yesterday night was so horrible that now I must wake up in the morning non-rested, that I must wake up and go back to my day job without feeling relief, feeling anxious, feeling nervous. No. Emotional management. Manage your emotions. Be able to control your emotions. A lot of us cannot engage in profitable conversations because a lot of people have to walk on tiptoes because of you, because they don't know how you react. It's not good. It's not good. Even in forming friendships, in building partnerships, it's not good. Manage your emotions. Tame your emotions. Choose how you feel. This thing, every day they talk about joy. Choose to be joyful. Choose how you want to feel. Number 4, this one I carry on my head. Personal responsibility. Association, my village people, come closer. Association, these people, government people, come closer. Are you not tired? Every single thing you put on your village people. You did not eat, your village people. You did not have light, government. You did not have job, village people. You did not score well in school, village people. You started a project, you did not finish, village people. Everything. Now village people, now my parents, everyone. And they are always trying to blame someone. If you are 20, and what about if it's 20? If you are already 18, let me tell you something, you cannot blame anybody again. Now your life now. You cannot be blaming people up and down. Who do you think you are? Are you the first one that government has deceived? Are you the first one that society has disappointed? Are you the only one with a bad background? Do you really think you are the only one coming from a poor family? So you think you are the only one that your village does not have light? You think so? I beg, stop that thing. When you decide to put those excuses on the ground, you realize that there are a lot of things you can do that you were actually not doing, not because of people, but because you were not responsible enough to take care of your own life. At 18, at 20, you are still counting on people. 25, you are still waiting on people. You even see people, they grow to their 40, they are still waiting on government. You will be shocked. You will be shocked. If you want to be a leader, let me tell you this. You must be responsible. And the first thing about responsibility, particularly today, is understanding that nobody owes you anything. Your papa does not owe you. Your mama does not owe you. Your siblings does not owe you. Even the government, sometimes you should even carry the mindset that they don't owe you anything. Because the more you keep thinking that people owe you, the more you keep thinking that I'm waiting on these people to come through for me, the more you'll be victimizing yourself. And the more you victimize yourself, the more you realize that years are passing, you are growing old, but nothing is moving in your life. Carry the mentality of someone who knows if it has to happen, if my life has to be brighter, I just have to partner with the Holy Spirit and walk my walk. If something has to happen, I have to do it. The more you know it, the better for you. The earlier you understand this, the better for you. So I will not stretch this one at all. So I just wanted to tell you, if you are still waiting on someone, you wait, and you may wait till you die. And that's not my hope for you. My hope for you is that as you are listening this, if you were part of that association of my village people, you stop. You really stop. So the fourth one was self-responsibility. Be responsible. If something must happen, start working on it. And the last and final thing I'll be talking about today is your daily habits. When you have a vision, when you have a purpose, when you know where you are going and you decide to be responsible and take it on you to do the work that needs to be done so that you can become the gold that you are in you. The next step is to put on daily habits that will help you move towards that goal. Daily habits. It can be deciding to wake up early and not at 10 a.m., not at 20 years old. Not in your 20s. It can be deciding to sleep early so that you can wake up early. Deciding to sleep not after 11 p.m. It can be deciding to read 2 hours a day. Deciding to read 1 book a month. Deciding to read 3 books a year. Deciding to go to a conference. Daily habits. Deciding to wake up and take your bath. Deciding to dress well. All of us have something that we are still working on. But the thing is, the best way and the fastest way to achieve whatever you want to achieve is to break it into daily goals, daily habits. Doing something every day makes you the best at it in 10 years or in 15 years. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. So as I'm concluding this episode of Leading with Glory, I want you to remember, leading people is not a joke. Leadership is not a joke. When people trust you to be a leader they want to follow, they literally, in quote, entrust you with their destinies, entrust you with their lives, with their goals, with their careers, and believe that because you have shown that you can lead yourself, because you have a track record of good leadership and of wisdom and of self-development, that you will give them advice that will help promote their life, that you give them advice and give them actions to take, or homeworks or assignments or tips that will actually help them better their life and speed things up for them. So please, do not be the leader that no one wants to go to. Do not be the kind of leader that God cannot trust. Do not be the type of person that calls themselves a leader but is not. We are doers here, not just talkers. So I'm going to leave you with this today. On all the things I've said, my assignment for you is to find that one thing, one daily habit that you want to include in your day-to-day that will make you better. The second thing is to write a vision for yourself. It can be a vision board, it can be a vision statement, but start thinking about it in the place of prayer, looking at others, looking inward. Be honest with yourself as well. What are the things that you need to say no to that you haven't said no to yet? And do that this week. This was Leading with Glory, and it was my immense pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much again. My name is Glory Divine Yugen Tahon. This was Leading with Glory, a community of doers and not talkers, a community where we begin and become leaders that God can trust and that people will want to follow. Thank you. Goodbye. As we are marching into greatness. Goodbye.